be a sponge, and then bring the juice.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Edge of Greatness. I'm your host, Charles Schultz, and I'm excited to have you back with me again today. If this is your first time, welcome in. We talk a lot about how to increase our performance, how to get better, how to get stronger, how to go and grow throughout our entire life. So I'm excited to have you here today. I wanted to start by catching you up. These last few months have been pretty wild, been pretty crazy. I've been going through a lot. The holidays were good but busy. We then had no sun January here in Ohio, so it was a full 31 days without the sun shining, and I've been working through some kitchen renovations, helping the network get launched, and it's felt like a lot. It's really been speeding through these last few months, and sometimes it can catch up to you. You look down, you look up, and the next thing you know, a month and a half's gone by, and it gets kind of crazy. And now today it's Monday, and softball season starts for me. So I'm going to start coaching. Things are going to get busy on that end. I'm going to have, another set of responsibilities added to my plate. And, I think that's kind of why I wanted to talk this week about some different things when it relates to wintertime and the ups and downs that we go through emotionally this time of year, because it can get really challenging during this stretch of cold, dark, gray days. And, I think that's important to recognize and to own and to accept, because we're not always going to feel our best. We're not always going to be at our peak every single day. And so there's things that we can do to help combat that. But that leads me into this week's Behind the Pillars. And let's just dive right into it today. And one of the things that I think I want to discuss in this week is kind of the mindset and the discipline that it takes to work through the winter months. But for me, I've been experiencing a little case of the winter blues lately. And that's one of the things I want to just kind of dive into, is that this time of year can really start to drag, can start to be hard. The days are long or short, I guess. They feel long, but they're short because there's not a lot of sunlight. It's cold, it's gray. It's just, in Ohio, it just looks gross. I don't know how it is in a lot of the other places of the world, but I know this time of year can be really tough on people. And the winter blues is something that I think a lot of people battle, a lot of people deal with. And there are scientific reasons for that, and we'll dive into that in the coaching segment. But the less sunlight, the gray days, the cold, the changing weather, Ohio is weird because, just last week we had 60 degrees and sunny, and then yesterday it was 20 and snowing. And the ups and downs like that it's hard to stay steady. It's hard to stay grounded. It's hard to stay in the moment. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to get better at, is the consistency side of things. Because if you're always riding the I feel good wave, you're never going to get the things done that you need to. Too often we find ourselves, when we feel good, we work good. But when we don't, then what? And the winter time can really take a toll on that, because there's going to be a lot more days in the winter that I've found that I just don't feel as good. I don't feel as motivated. I don't feel as excited to get after it. And that's the challenge, especially with things in Ohio, is that this time of year, these next probably 30 days before the weather starts to change and we get into springtime, are hard. This is the last stretch of winter, the last push of cold, the gray, and then spring happens. And what you're going to find is when spring starts to hit, the mood's going to change. The excitement's going to change. You're going to start to get a little more energy. You're going to want to get outside because the sun's going to start coming out. Here in Ohio, we wear shorts and t-shirts, and it's 40 degrees outside because it's been 20 for the last month. And I think that part right there, that energy, that boost, that jump is something we can do in the moment to battle some of those challenges. Because what I want to talk about a lot today is how do we combat these days with the right mindset and discipline? How do we focus our energy on getting up, getting after it, getting forward, doing what we need to do? And the motivation and the mindset and the discipline and the focus on that part of our pillars, right? The mindset and the discipline piece is going to move us through when our motivation's lacking. Because the motivation's not going to be there every single day. It never is, whether it's summer or winter. It's especially hard, though, in these winter months. And that's something that I've started to really make an effort to help people understand, to dissect, to pick apart, and to continue to move the needle forward. Because if you take 3 months off a year, 4 months off a year, depending on where you're located, if you're where Jenna's at and it's winter for 6 months out of the year, then, you're going to find yourself struggling if you're only working for 6 months. You're only focused and motivated for 6 months. So what I want to do is we're going to talk a little bit more about what the winter blues are, how they affect us, how we start to recognize them, and then most importantly, how do we combat that when we get back after this break.
You're watching the exclusive sneak peek of NGBN TV. Like never before, streaming content for men is now available, with more to come. Join us on this journey as we introduce you to content creators and shows that are here to inspire, educate, entertain, celebrate, and support men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. We can't do this without you, so please enjoy this sneak peek, but also share it with your friends and family, and help us connect with companies, organizations, brands, or nonprofits who align with our mission to save men's lives. This is the NGBN TV Sneak Peek.
Hey, it's AC of AC Sports Live, an interactive sports talk show where your comments are part of the show. Every show we focus on the sports stories of today, with commentary on sports takes, My 2 Cents, which is a reaction to my social media feed, Sports Flicks, where we take a look at sports movies and give a quick review. We have a segment called Mental Reps, where we have words of inspiration to help battle the dark side of men's mental health. And then there's the Tender Love Report. Who's being soft or petty in the world of sports? Streaming live on the NGBN TV network, Roku, Amazon Fire, and other social media platforms. All takes are welcome under one condition: say it with your chest. I'll see you there.
I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Can't no one stop me, yeah, bring it in. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Top down, faded windows tinted. Push it with it, push it to the limit.
Hello and welcome back to the Edge of Greatness. If you haven't had a chance yet, go on the app if you're watching this on your television and check out some of the other shows. There are some incredible creators. There is some incredible content out there. And I think that if you've enjoyed this show, you're going to find something else on the channel that you're absolutely going to love as well. Spend some time, look around, check the on-demand, and see what makes you get excited. Because I think that that's the whole idea behind this network. That's the whole idea behind the content we're creating, is that we want to do stuff that's created for you, that's going to inspire you, that's going to educate you, that's going to keep you coming back and having a good time. And I think that there's a plenty of shows that you can go and check out. AC Sports is one of those. You just saw a commercial there. I absolutely love what he's doing and creating. You should absolutely check it out and tune in there. Also, before we get into the Coach's Corner, I do want to mention that if you are looking for a way to support the show, head over to the ngbn.tv website, go to the shop, check out the gear. You can use promo code EDGE10 to get 10% off your order and get yourself some goodies, help support the show, help support the network. It goes a long way in helping us continue to create content for you. So let's dive in. The Coach's Corner. What I want to do today is I really want to talk about what are the winter blues. And I think it's important to really dig in, dissect, and open up these doors about these different things that affect us. And one of the things that I really want to hit on today is that mental fog that often comes with winter, the lack of motivation, the lethargicness, the sleepiness, the feeling of depression that often comes with these gray, cold, short days. It's often referred to in the medical circles as season affective disorder or SAD, and I think that's fitting because I often feel a lot less joyful, a lot less focused, a lot less excitement during this time of year. And for a while, for a long while, actually, this was a struggle for me. It was a sticking point. I didn't work out as hard. I didn't sleep as well. I was drowsy all the time, but not well rested. And I didn't get things done. It was just kind of like a zombie season where I just kind of mumbled through and wandered on until spring hit. And then all of a sudden I felt good. Energy started to come back. I was motivated again and excited. But by that point, you've lost several months. You know, if you think about it, you're in winter for 3-4 months, depending on where you're located, sometimes a little longer. And we need those months. We need that time to keep moving the needle forward. So it was important for me as part of my journey to figure out how to best navigate some of those ups and downs, some of those challenges that come from the gray periods of winter, especially here in Ohio, because we already struggle in Ohio from sunlight deprivation. We just don't get sun here. So if you're looking for a sunny place to live, I'm sorry, this isn't it. Ohio has a lot to offer. The sun isn't one of those things. So if you're looking for sunshine, probably best to look somewhere else. But that's important to understand because that's one of the things when you think about it. Why do we experience these winter blues? What is the reason behind it? And as you can see by this image here, that's terrible, right? Nobody wants to walk through that. That just doesn't look like fun. And if you compare that to, you know, a sunny spring day or a fall day where the sun's shining and the leaves and the colors are there, there's just more vibrance to life when you're not in the winter. The gray, the dead, the dark, all those things are linked to chemical changes in the brain. And those chemical changes cause us to not feel like ourselves, to start to feel lethargic, to start to feel depressed, to have these just moments of uck. I don't know how else better to explain it than to say that, you know, we just start to feel like this, there's no drive. And often this is the problem because we tend to rely heavily on motivation. Motivation seems to be a common thing that I see on all of my social feeds of I'm feeling motivated today, or I'm not motivated today, or I'm riding this wave of motivation. But motivation is such a fickle thing because it doesn't stick around. It's not consistent. There's no telling when it's going to show up, where it's going to show up, how it's going to show up, what you're going to be motivated for, what you're not. And if you want to stay focused on getting things done, if you want to move the needle and be better every single day, then we need to start to lean more into discipline. We need to start to change our mindset around how we get things done. And this is especially true in the winter, because in the winter, the motivation is definitely going to lack. It's, you know, I've talked about this before. My home gym is freezing cold. I do not have insulated walls. It's just dark in there. I mean, I've got pretty solid lights now, but it's dark outside. It's dark. You feel it creep into the gym space, the cold, everything's just stiff, and it's not easy to want to get out into that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't enjoy being cold. It's not something that I look forward to doing. Yet I know that I need to go get my exercise in. I need to go and do these things. So how do we combat this? How do we get ourselves into a place where we can actually get things done in the winter? And this is where I've started to create some systems. This is where I've started to create some exercises and some things to help me battle the winter blues. And I think that if you start to implement some of these yourself, you can find a way to stay moving, stay motivated, stay excited, stay energized during these dark gray, pretty terrible times of year. Because let's be real, nobody really enjoys the dark and ick of winter. You know, everybody wants a white Christmas. Nobody wants a white New Year's. So let's get that, you know, climate to work for us, where we get some snow on Christmas and then 65 for the rest of the year. And then we'll be all right. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case here in Ohio. We're going to have to figure out how to get through some of these things. And one of the things that I've made a point to do regularly for a long time, and especially make it a point in the winter, is exercise. There are a few things that can help our brain and our mood and our energy and our just level of focus, like exercise. That heart pounding, the blood pumping, the release of chemicals that comes from exercise is one of the most proven ways to increase and improve our mood, to help us get energy, to help us stay focused, to help our brain. And, you know, if you've tuned into any of their shows, Doc and Chef would say, you know, exercise is a key focal point to healthy brain, healthy life, healthy everything else. So I always try to start with a good exercise routine, a good exercise regimen, and making sure that that is something that I stay consistent with. No matter what the weather's like, no matter how things change throughout that time of year, throughout the course of the year, I am trying to exercise 4 to 5 times a week. So that's something I think that you need to try to implement yourself. And again, it doesn't have to be weightlifting. It doesn't have to be like what I do, but you need to get up, you need to move, you need to exercise. The next piece of this is nutrition, diet. We need to make sure that we eat healthy foods. We are eating foods that give us energy, not suck energy away. So we need whole foods. We need non-processed foods. We need healthy meats and vegetables, good sources of carbs, proteins, and fats. And stay away from the snacking stuff. Stay away from the lots of desserts and the picking and the sitting down in front of the television and just munching on stuff. It feels good in the moment. It does. I get it. We like to snack. It's easy to sit down and just start popping food in our mouth because we're bored and we're watching television, but that's only going to make your energy decrease later. It's not going to help you. It's not going to make you feel better. It's not going to help your brain. It's not going to help your heart. It's not going to help your focus and your energy and your mood. But if you eat whole foods, you eat healthy foods, you focus on going around the outside of the grocery store instead of through the middle sections with all the boxes, you're going to find the foods you need to help give you energy. Something that I started doing recently, it's like with the last 2 years or so, is vitamin D. A vitamin D supplement, I guess it could technically be kind of inserted into my diet. With my supplements, I take multivitamins, fish oil. Vitamin D is one of the big ones, but vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin. And it's something that I started taking because, like I mentioned earlier, Ohio is the gray state. It's the state of no sun. And it's especially the state of no sun in the winter months. I mentioned that we had, I'm pretty sure, 0 sunny days in January. I'm going to have to go back and look at that to be certain, but I'm almost positive I didn't see the sun for a full 31 days in a row. And it might have even been longer because it was sometime in February before the sun actually did come out again. And that's hard. Like, we need sunshine. We need that energy that comes from being outside. But, you know, the truth of it is that I can't change that. That's just the nature of it. But I can take a supplement. And vitamin D is a good supplement that I've taken, and I've noticed an increase in my mood and my energy and my focus. And it's been something that I've made a staple in my life. And I think that it can kind of help you kind of navigate some of that as well. The next one is hobbies. And this one often gets overlooked. And the reason why I think finding hobbies and doing things that are considered hobbies, especially in the winter months, is it brings joy back into your life. It gives you something to focus on, to practice, to do. Because a lot of times in the winter months, we don't get out. Like I said, we don't get outside as much. We don't do as much. There's not as many things happening. You know, it's really easy to just sit down, turn the fireplace on, and cozy up with a blanket and, you know, drink your hot cocoa and watch television. And I'm sure some of you are nodding, smiling, and thinking, yeah, that sounds really nice. But picking up a hobby can help activate our mind, can help give us something new to try, start to create that drive to practice and get better. And pushes us into a place where we are doing things instead of sitting and waiting for stuff. I've found that picking up new hobbies in the winter has actually helped the winter months go by faster. I wrote one of my books through the winter. I started woodworking in the winter one year. I started doing a photography thing. It was a course that I did during the winter that one time. But those things were useful for the hobbies. And now I do some of my best work in the winter. The next thing that I think is important, and Jenna just popped it up there, let's show it again, is get outside. I know it's cold. I know it's not fun all the time. And I know it's just kind of one of those times of the year that you want to just stay in and stay warm. But being outside, getting fresh air, getting sunlight when you can, stretching your legs, moving around, all of those things are beneficial. They are going to help you navigate the winter months. They're going to help you get energy, feel better, improve your mood, improve your cardiovascular health if you're doing hikes and walks and things of that nature. But it's just a way to get away from just staying inside feeling stuck. So find ways to get outside. The last thing I think is extremely important is to connect yourself with friends, socialize, get yourself around other people. We need people in our lives. We need people to feel connected. We are social beings by nature, whether you're introverted or extroverted. That's not an important thing, because either way we want socialization. And in the winter months, those socialization moments help carry us through and get us to where we want to go. So find friends to connect with, pick up the phone, call somebody, get a group together, start doing things like that. And I think you'll find if you use these tools, you'll be able to navigate the winter months a little bit better. You'll be able to get through things a little bit easier, and it's going to make the winter months seem a little less daunting and maybe eliminate some of the winter blues. Before we go to break, I do want to thank our sponsor, Go Primal Lifestyle and Fitness Apparel. Lifestyle and fitness apparel to be your best for those who need you the most. Go over to Go Primal and check them out. Use promo code, I want to say it's Be Great. Yep, there it is. Promo code Be Great for 10% off. And support my show, support his show, support the apparel, and I think you'll enjoy some of the stuff that he's putting out there. And we'll talk more in World of Greatness after this break.
You're watching the exclusive sneak peek of NGBN TV. Like never before, streaming content for men is now available, with more to come. Join us on this journey as we introduce you to content creators and shows that are here to inspire, educate, entertain, celebrate, and support men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. We can't do this without you, so please enjoy this sneak peek, but also share it with your friends and family, and help us connect with companies, organizations, brands, or nonprofits who align with our mission to save men's lives. This is the NGBN TV Sneak Peek. Hey NGBN, it's Brian Jodas with Pick Up the Six Productions. Join us here at Pick Up the Six as we introduce you to the men and women among us who go above and beyond through service, purpose, and impact. Whether it's travel in the United States or right here from our studios, we can't wait to pick up the six with you.
Hello, we are the MD and Chef team. I'm nutritional chef Michael, joined by my beautiful wife, Dr. Isabel, medical doctor and suicide survivor.
Yes, I was dropped into the world of mental illness back in 2013, and by the grace of God, I survived suicide. But here's what I learned. We don't have a mental illness issue. That's the downstream event. We're focusing downstream. We should be focusing upstream on our brain health and all the things that we can be doing to support our brain health. Because you see, it's like mopping up the floor when the sink is overflowing instead of turning off the faucet. So come and join us on the MD and Chef Team show.
Come join us.
Hello and welcome back to the final segment of today's show, In a World of Greatness. Today, I truly am excited to highlight a gentleman who has fully embodied some of the pillars of greatness in his recent stretch of trying to get something done. So he has shown that he has purpose. He has changed and developed this mindset. He has shown incredible resilience and commitment, and then also courage. And in the process, he's developed discipline, and he's leaned into needing people. And this man, his name is Jason Dutton, and he's a good friend of mine. He's somebody who I have worked with for several years now in a number of ways, but he is an author, and he recently wrote a book that's called How to Dance. And for those of you who are interested, here it is. And if you notice in this picture, the main character in this novel has cerebral palsy. And so does Jason. Jason has cerebral palsy, and he started writing a book after watching a movie that showed a disabled person claiming that being disabled was worse than dying. And it made him upset. And it made him so upset that he decided that I'm going to write a book about being disabled and all the joys and all the things that can be great about being me, about being this person. And over the last 7 years, he's been writing, revising, editing, and then submitting this book to various literary agents to find a way to get this thing published. And for 7 years, he tinkered with it. He submitted copies of it. He got rejection letters. He kept showing up. He kept putting it out there. He kept throwing it back into the ether, hoping that somebody would take a bite on it. And eventually, somebody did. And now it's getting all kinds of positive reviews. It's getting all kinds of incredible traction. He's getting recognized by a number of different book publishing places, and I'm extremely excited for this new endeavor for him because it was a long road. It was a challenging road. It was a lot of no's and a lot of down. And now he's going to see this positive upswing from his efforts. And I'm excited that he's coming to visit me this week. He's actually going to be on the show next week, and we're going to do another interview for A World of Greatness. And we're going to talk about his journey in writing this book, getting it published, handling the negativity and the ups and downs, and staying focused. And I think you're going to really enjoy how he's built this thing from a negative experience and turned it into something incredible. And if you're looking to get a copy of it, again, go on Amazon, go to any of your local bookstores. It's literally sitting in Barnes and Noble right now. It's pretty incredible, but it's called How to Dance. It's by Jason Dutton. I'm extremely excited for him. I'm excited to dig into this book and read it. I haven't had a chance yet. It just came out like 13 days ago, if that, right before Valentine's Day. But this is what this segment's all about. We have to find ways to continue to pursue things in the face of adversity, in the face of negativity, in the face of all these obstacles. And if you continue to show up and you lean into those pillars, you'll find a way out of it. I want to thank you all for joining me this week. I'm excited about where this show's going, and I'm excited that you're deciding to come along with me. It's an incredible honor to have you here. If you're looking to connect, please reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. You can find me anywhere on there. My DMs are open. My email is always accessible. And I would love to connect with all of you and tell me how you're experiencing greatness in your life and how I can better serve you. Until then, keep reaching for the stars. Fall flat on your face, but remember, whenever we fall, always get up.